But that's one of the great things about acting, is that sometimes you'll find yourself working with people who are quite different to you and have different ways of going about things, which Jim most definitely did. I think I just always want to be terrified of a role and surprised by it and immediately feel challenged by it, or reading something that I think, oh my God, I could absolutely never play that part. When I read The Reader, I just went, oh well, obviously that's not me. There's no way I can play this part. I want to really play character roles now. I suddenly feel a very strong desire to be fully out of my comfort zone. Well, I can tell you a great deal about this because I remember it very, very, very clearly. That's because he was trying to tell me about the attitude I needed to have, because Dad's an actor as well, and so I remember thinking, God, that's it, isn't it? I've got to absolutely believe that I'm going to get this part, because so much of it is believing that you will. And I do remember thinking, okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm just somehow going to give them no option but to give me this part. And of course, a part of that is remaining incredibly calm. And I remember trying really hard not to appear too, like, I want this part, trying not to appear too desperate. I auditioned, and then they called me back again about 2 or 3 weeks later, and then I was called back again. It was just terrifying. And then they sort of made me wait for about 2 more months, and then I finally got this phone call telling me that I'd got the part. And maybe a bit of theatre if I was lucky. I mean, I never ever thought outside of that. Okay. I really didn't. Who is this Peter Jackson person? And I remember the casting directors, John and Ross Hubbard, saying to me, well, he has sort of a cult following, he's made these quite quirky films. But I also knew, because he had told me himself, that this film was a bit of a departure for him. He had said that he had co-written it with Fran, and it's a very special, very famous New Zealand murder story. And so I remember thinking, okay, well, here I am in England. How do I start preparing for this? And I remember my heart was in my mouth, because the murder took place in June 1954. And I think it was June 22nd. And as I'm cranking through these pages, it's June the 18th, June the 19th, June the 20th, June the 21st. Oh God, I might not find anything. June the 22nd, Parker Hume murder story. I'm like, oh my God, it's really there. It's really real. And we wrote about it in this country. And so there was something ignited in me from that moment. No, I love it. Okay. I really do love it. And I think I love being in things that are based on a true story. I think probably because of my experience of Heavenly Creatures, which was so life-changing, I cannot even tell you.